Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Chris, and I'm one of the Shortcuts educators here. So, of course, and unfortunately, we found ourselves again in a lockdown, but this time it is ever so slightly different. As we know when salons and retail hospitality can reopen. So, we know this is only a short 4-week break. But in that 4-week lockdown, as we know, we're going to have to do a few things with our shortcut system to ensure it's prepped and primed, just to make sure we don't get any further online bookings or anything like that. So I'm going to run through this afternoon some of my sort of top tips and tricks just to make sure your shortcut system is prepped and primed. And moving forward, when we are in lockdown, we'll be having lots of these free webinar sessions. So of course, if you do need anything, feel free to drop me an email. But now is the time, shall we say, to really get hot on our stock, reportings, and all other aspects Shortcuts has to offer. So first things first, the duration of this webinar is going to be approximately 30 minutes. Now I'm going to get through it as quickly but as efficiently as I can because I appreciate you may be in between clients, you may be on your lunch break, and I know you're going to be super duper busy for the next sort of 24 hours, that kind of thing. So my microphone has been switched on, whereas everyone else has automatically been muted. Your speakers must be turned on to hear this webinar, and questions will be taken at the end of the webinar using the chat box. However, I do always say if you do want to jump in at any point with any questions, please feel free to do so. Do talk to me, anything that you want to discuss, I'm here for you. So today we're going to be looking at the essential information you will require to assist you at this unsettling time. We're going to be looking at our Shortcuts resource hub. Okay, so we've got lots of templates, social media posts, everything like that that we can show you and share with you. We're going to be looking at giving the relevant access within the cloud appointment book. We're also going to look at how to switch off your confirmation text and essentially your online booking as well. And also show you how to manually send out any SMSs as well. Now, you're probably not going to need this during the 4-week lockdown break, but I'm going to show you how to do it manually should you wish to. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to send out a blast campaign, which is a one-off campaign, to all clients and deactivate any current ongoing campaigns as well. So let's start with our cloud access. Now we are of course going to have a live demonstration, but let's just ease nicely into this. So cloud access. So we're going to look at how to set up staff with access to the cloud appointment book and grant the relevant access. Now basically what this is, the cloud appointment book is a browser-based appointment book, okay? Now for this to work, please ensure you do leave your main shortcut system on throughout the break, and please ensure it doesn't go into like sleep mode or power save mode or anything like that. The reason for this is so your cloud appointment book can continue syncing with your Shortcuts appointment book. Now, again, as we know, we're going to get clients towards the 3rd and the 4th of December. They're going to be contacting us to get their appointments booked in. Now, of course, this is where the cloud appointment book really comes into its own. We're going to be able to give staff access to this so they can do this from the comfort of their home. We're then going to be looking at our Shortcuts marketing campaigns, okay? So I'll show you how to send a one-off blast campaign to all of your clients to ensure they're kept up to date with any salon changes. Now, of course, you may wish to send one out today if you've got any free appointments left for tomorrow. I'm sure you won't have. I'm sure you've been nice and busy over the last 24, 48 hours. But of course, you can also be nice and proactive and get one sent out ready for the reopening on the 3rd of December, the 4th of December, and so forth. I'll also essentially how to show you how to switch off your online bookings. Now, where this is lockdown 2 is different to lockdown 1, we know when salons can reopen this time round. So we're not really going to essentially turn your online bookings off as a whole. We're just going to sort of pause them, shall we say. And I'm going to show you a very handy tip in order to do so. Now, the main reason for this is, as we know, we are probably aware that most clients do know we can't reopen until the beginning of December, but we just need to make sure no clients do book online. And then lastly, I'm going to show you how to switch off your automated confirmation text. So we want to ensure any clients still currently booked into your appointment book do not receive a confirmation text and cost you unnecessary money, time, and stress. So you're going to see in just a few steps how to switch off your confirmation text, okay? We do have some essential resources. Please do make the most of them over the next 4 weeks. If you want to go onto our website, which can be found at shortcuts.co.uk, you will see we have a communication kit. Now I'm going to show you this as well. You can also view further free classroom sessions. Again, this can be found on our website, shortcuts.co.uk, and it's /online-classes. And as always, if you do need to drop me an email, if there's anything you want to go through, any concerns, any questions, or you just want a little bit of extra training, like I said, now is the time. We can really swat up on advanced appointments, online booking, anything like that. Drop me an email. My email address is in the bottom right-hand corner there. So from here, we can move to our live demonstration. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is navigate to our Cloud Appointment Book. Now, if you've never used a Cloud Appointment Book before, it is browser-based, which basically means it is just a website. So the website URL for this is pos.shortcutsoftware.com, and we can see that just here, pos.shortcutsoftware.com. Now, the beauty of this, you can do this from home. You can type it in on any internet-enabled browser. Now, when you do go to log in, it will prompt you for a username and password. That username and password is exactly the same as your console login, okay? So your smart system console, so it's exactly the same. So from here, let's have a look at setting up your staff members with access to the Cloud Appointment Book. Like I said, so they can continue making appointments from home, checking their schedule, checking appointments, making appointments, anything like that. So to give your staff members access, in the top left-hand corner, all we're going to do is click the menu button. And in the second option down, we can see where it says employees and rosters, just here on the left-hand side of the navigation bar. So it's employees and rosters. Then we're going to choose the first icon just here where it says employees. Then down the left-hand side, we have a list of all of our staff members. Then all we need to do is simply choose the relevant staff member. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see where it says roles and logins. Just here, roles and login. So all we're going to do is click onto this. And in the top right-hand corner, we're just going to ensure we toggle login access from no to yes. Then underneath, you can see we have two fields. We have a username field and an email field. Now, as a rule of thumb, what we do for our staff members, we keep their username typically the same as their email address, but that is just a rule of thumb. You may be privy to the fact that your credentials, your username for your online console and your Cloud Appointment Book is your email address. Just makes it a little bit easier to remember. So all we do is we pop a username in there. Now, like I said, it's just a rule of thumb. You don't have to pop their email address in there. You can just do their first and last name if you wish to. But it is easier to remember if you use your email address. Then underneath in the email field, please do fill out the staff member's email address. The reason for this is they will be sent a password. They will be sent their username, which we can see is their email address. And they will also be sent the website URL, which as we now know is pos.shortcutsoftware.com. Now, when they're sent this website link, what they can do is they can save it to the home screen of their mobile phone. And what that does is it essentially works just like an app. And I'm going to talk about that in just a few more minutes. So underneath this, you will notice we have two role types available. Think of role types as basically security. Each role type will have different levels of access or different levels of permissions. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through now our two default role types and the default levels of permissions that those role types have. Now, please do not worry. The default levels of permissions, the levels of access, can be changed. And we're going to talk about that as well in just a few moments. So the employee role type just here. This will grant the staff member access to their own column only, nobody else's, just their own column. They will only be able to create appointments, make appointments, edit, make changes to their column during their working hours. Now, of course, during lockdown, we need a way around this, and I'm going to show you this in just a sec. They will also have access to their own reports, such as performance summary, And that's pretty much it. A site manager, they will have access to every staff member's column. They'll be able to make changes, create appointments, everything like that, during and outside of the working hours of the business. They will also have access to configuration items, which is what we're doing now, setting things up in the background. And they'll have access to all business reports. So all we're going to do is choose the relevant role type. So I'm just going to choose the employee and we're going to click done. And that will then send login details to that particular staff member. Now, I mentioned a couple of minutes ago about saving this to the home screen of your mobile phone so it functions just like an app. So when this particular staff member has been sent their credentials, there will be the website URL link, which of course is pos.shortcutsoftware.com. They will open that up and they can then save it to the home screen of their phone. So it saves them having to type the website in every single time. Now, if they're working on an iPhone, at the bottom of their mobile phone, they should see a square with an arrow facing upwards. It's not a shortcuts button, it's an Apple button. I believe it's the share button. It's a square with an arrow facing upwards inside of it. They will tap onto that. They may have to scroll left or right, but we're looking for the button that says add to home screen. Okay, and that will save it so it essentially functions just like an app. Now, if you're working on an Android, such as a Samsung or Huawei, what you can do in the top right-hand corner or the bottom right-hand corner, you should see 3 dots or 3 lines, depending on the make and model of your phone. So top right, bottom right, 3 dots or 3 lines. You tap onto it, and again, we're looking for the plus sign where it says add to home screen. And that will add your cloud appointment book to the home screen of your mobile phone so it functions just like an app. We also spoke about role types, employee and site manager. And we spoke about the default levels of permission, the default level of access that they will have. But what about if we wanted to chop and change, grant access, restrict access? Well, we can do that. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. So in the top left-hand corner, again, we're going to click the menu button. And we're going to choose the 5th option down where it says General Settings, just here. We're going to choose the first setting just here where it says Roles. And on the left-hand side of our navigation bar, we can see those 2 default role types, such as Employee and Site Manager. To the center of our screen, we can see the staff members that have been assigned to that individual role type. And if we scroll down just a little bit further, we can see the default levels of permissions that fall under each role type. Now we're looking at the employee role type here, and we can see the permissions just here. I can view my appointments, I can create my appointments, I can update my appointments, I can view the appointments of other users, all of that kind of stuff. Now, if you wanted to change this, now this has been changed a few times over the course of the webinars, but if you wanted to change it, like I said, for lockdown, you will need to grant your staff members access to be able to make appointments outside the working hours of the business. So to do this, what we're going to do is click the red word just here where it says permissions. Please don't try and take the tick away or add a tick. What we're going to do is we're looking for the red word here where it says permissions, and we're going to click the red word permissions. Underneath, we can now see we've got all of our permissions categories. Now, like I said, for lockdown, you will need to grant your staff members access so they can make appointments at home. To do this, you will need to expand the 3rd option down, which is general. And we're looking for the 3rd option down within this subcategory as I can access this site with normal permissions outside my rostered hours. So we're just going to toggle that to yes. That therefore means when they're in lockdown outside of their normal working hours, they can access normal permissions. They can make appointments. They can do all of the things they could do inside the working hours. To finalize this, we literally just click the done button in the bottom right-hand corner. And there we have it. That is how we can grant access and create logins for our staff members for cloud access. Now, whilst we're inside the cloud appointment book here, we can also move to marketing. And we're going to look at deactivating any ongoing campaigns, any email campaigns, anything like that, that we had set up before. We may have just simply forgotten about them. So what we're going to do at the top of our screen, we can see here where it says marketing. So we're going to click onto marketing. And the two you're most likely going to want to deactivate will be our time to see you again and our we miss you. Because of course we don't want to be sending those out whilst we're in lockdown and confuse any clients. So all we do is we simply click onto the relevant campaign. In this case, it's going to be time to see you again. And as a handy tip, if you did set these up several months ago, maybe a couple of years ago, and you've completely forgotten about them, you'll be able to see whether they're active in a couple of ways. On the left-hand side, we can see the send platform, such as SMS and email, and we can see this just here. If these two circles here are filled in green, this lets you know that either of those campaigns via SMS or email have been activated. And of course, very quickly and very easily, we can also see just here, again, alongside the send platform. It will simply say active rather than inactive. Now, of course, to make it inactive, all we do is we click onto it. We simply scroll down. This will all be shaded out, so you will not be able to see the majority of this. We simply scroll down, and in the bottom right-hand corner, where my activate button is, it will be dark gray and it will say deactivate. And then that way we can, of course, deactivate our campaigns. Now, when we want to reopen the salon, we simply reverse the procedure and we click the activate button. To finalize everything, what we're going to do is click the done button. Now from here, we're going to look at sending out a blast campaign, which is basically a once-off campaign to all of the clients in your database. Now for this, what we could do, we could always send one out today. Perhaps you've got one or two spare appointments that are going begging for today, or it may be that you want to sort of be nice and proactive and let all of your clients know when we're set to reopen. Now to do this, again, in the top left-hand corner, we click where it says campaign type, and we're just going to click just here. And we're going to choose the first option where it says message all clients once off campaign, which basically means it is a once only campaign sent out the once to all of your clients in your database. So we click onto this. And down the bottom of the screen, we can click the new button. And you can see I've got one already set up called COVID information. You can, of course, call this whatever you wish to. Underneath, if you need to change the gender, you can do so here. You can also change the send time and the send date. So like I said, it may be that you want to just reconfirm with all of your clients that we are closing from tomorrow evening, Thursday midnight, that kind of stuff. Or it could be that you want to be nice and proactive and, of course, let all of your clients know we're going to be reopening. Now, underneath, you can choose the send platform. So whether it's going to be sent via email or SMS. Of course, please do bear in mind if you do send it out via SMS, there are 138 characters you can choose. It does let you know that. But of course, also please bear in mind it will be taken out of your usual confirmation bundle allowance. So for this, I'm going to send it out via email. You will see I have my display logo. Your display logo pulls through from site settings of your online console. And you can also upload a nice display image as well. To do so, you just pop a tick in the display image box, click choose file and upload an image from your computer. If you don't already have one, you can grab one from Google, Shutterstocks, as long as there are, of course, no copyright infringement. Then underneath, you will see we've got the subject, we've got the body of the email. So from here, you would just write up what you want to say. However, we have done a lot of the hard work for you here, ladies and gents. So if you wish to go to our website, which can be found at shortcuts.co.uk, towards the top left-hand corner, you will see a tab where it says COVID-19. If we click the drop-down arrow, you can see we have a resource hub, a communication kit, and some how-to videos. So if you would go to the communication kit, maybe you're not quite sure what to say, you will see we have some email templates, SMS templates, social media posts, and we also have our Rewards Club communication kit and our Shopify communication kit. If anyone's interested in those last two, just drop me an email. You can click onto our view email templates, and of course you can just copy and paste everything that you need, and just make sure you change the wording here where it says salon name. Make sure you do enter your salon name in your body of your email. Then underneath, there's no need to add an offer in or a book now button unless you really want to. To do so, you just hit the plus signs in the top right-hand corner of the relevant boxes. To remove them, we just reverse the procedure. Then down here, we can click the preview, we can send test, or of course, we can activate it. And that will send a campaign out to all of your clients, only the once. And that is how we can deactivate any ongoing campaigns and send out a blast campaign to all of our clients. Now, as we move to the latter stages of our webinar this afternoon, I'm now going to show you how to temporarily switch off your online bookings. Now, as we've said before, it's slightly different this time because we know when salons can reopen. Now, before what we did is we had salons completely switching off their online booking, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend we do because, of course, as we get towards the 3rd and the 4th of December, we may wish for our clients to start being able to book appointments online. And of course, if we have completely switched off online booking, we have to wait till we reopen so we can switch it back on. And by which time it hasn't given us or the clients the flexibility to make appointments in time for reopening. So what we're going to do is we are going to schedule each of your staff members off. Okay, now think of this as akin to scheduling them off for a holiday, sickness, day off, anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the setup button and we're going to click the configuration button. In the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to click the general tab. I'm just going to use the green arrow, just scroll down until we see where it says schedule. Now, this is where we can create schedule reasons as to why your staff members may or may not be in the salon. So all we're going to do is going to click the new button in the top right-hand corner, which is identified by the green cross. I'm just going to type in the name where it's COVID. And I've just popped a little color in there as well, just to make it easier to identify. Now, when you do this, please ensure you do not have these two boxes ticked where it says allow bookings and allow walk-ins, because of course we don't want bookings, including online bookings, and we don't want to allow walk-ins. Now, when we do this, just make sure we click the done button, and we may just have to give a quick restart to shortcuts. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to schedule our staff members out, okay? Now, the reason this is also very handy, apart from the reasons I mentioned earlier, when you run your reports, you can see the reasons why your staff were or were not in the salon. So to schedule your staff out, what we're going to do on the right-hand side, we're going to click Tools, and we're going to choose the 4th option down here where it says Schedule. Now, of course, when you do this, please ensure you schedule out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So all you would do in the relevant staff members column, for Thursday, you would click onto it. In the top right-hand corner from the drop-down arrow, choose COVID as the schedule reason and click Done. And of course, do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if applicable. Now, when we do this, we need to copy and paste this until the 2nd of December. And of course, you can use this handy tip moving forward in January when you set up new schedules as well. It doesn't just have to be for COVID related. So what we're going to do is in the top left-hand corner, we're going to click Mark Cells. Now, when you do this, one thing I should just say, when you do this as well, please ensure you do a full working week like I have done here. So make sure you do the Sunday if you were open. Make sure you do the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday. So from here on out, essentially, make sure you do from Sunday the 8th all the way up until the 14th of November. That is because we need a full week to copy. So make sure you've, of course, done the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. The 8th if you were due to be open. And then the Monday the 9th all the way up until the Saturday the 14th. Okay? Then we can copy and paste. So what we do in the top left-hand corner, we click Mark Cells. And we go to the first Sunday. We always start from the Sunday, whether you should have been open, should be closed, anything like that. So we go to the first Sunday, which is just here. That'll be Sunday the 8th if you're doing this sort of live. So it'll be Sunday the 8th. We click on Sunday the 8th. And then we just place our cursor on Saturday the 14th. So we go Sunday to Saturday, which essentially, if you think of a circle, is a full week. Sunday right round to Saturday. So we go from Sunday the 8th, and then we click next on Saturday the 14th. And you'll see the entire week has now gone like a dark color just here. What we're going to do is right click and do schedule until. Now we're then going to do it right the way until the 2nd of December. Now you will notice Wednesday the 2nd of December falls midweek. So we click on 2nd of December, and it says you have selected to schedule your current selection until the 2nd of December. However, as you have marked 7 days, remember Sunday to Saturday, the final period will only partially be scheduled, and it will overlap the date selected. So that will basically go right the way to the Saturday after the 2nd of December, which we don't need to happen. So all we need to do at this screen is click no, and then click yes. In the top left-hand corner, please ensure you click unmark cells. And then as we scroll down, you will notice it is only scheduled until the 2nd of December just here, leaving the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th exactly how it was previously. Okay. Now, I recommend when you do this back, if you want to drop me an email for me to jump on and give you a hand, please do let me know. But maybe if you're able to watch the video side by side. To finalize that, all we're going to do is click the done button. Now, again, the reason we do that is it leaves the rest of the dates available, 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, leaves those dates available so clients can start booking if they want to from now for the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and so forth. Now, I know before when we went into lockdown version 1, shall we say, we switched off online booking completely. Okay, now we'll also show you how to do that. I don't necessarily recommend you do this because if you do switch it off completely, you will then have to switch it completely back on. But we did see some people clicking onto the setup button. So if you've already done this and you're watching this, this is just how you can reverse it as well. So we clicked onto setup and then employees, and then some salons started for each staff member here, taking the tick out of the box where it said available for online booking. Now, of course, if you do that, they will no longer be able to make appointments for the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th moving forward. And of course, when we reopen, you'll have to pop all of those ticks back in. So I know some salons have done it, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do. Do it the schedule way. It's much easier, much quicker. And of course, for your reporting as well, you can see that. So last but not least, I'm going to show you how to switch off your automated text messages. So again, on the right-hand side, we're going to click the setup button of our navigation bar. And directly underneath that, we're going to click the configuration button. In the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to click the general tab. And again, we're going to click the confirmation, not the configuration, sorry, I do apologize. The confirmation icon just here. It's the confirmation, the mobile phone with the star next to it. So we're going to click onto that. Now, again, I know some salons have done this. So please don't, when you're on this screen, please do not take the tick out of the boxes just here, okay? So the two options just here, please do not take the tick out of the boxes. Now, the reason I would recommend you do not take the tick out of the boxes is when you put the ticks back in those boxes, you will need to input your username and password again, which 9 times out of 10 you will not have on file. We have it on file, but it's going to be unnecessary time taken out of your day to give us a call. So please do not take the tick out of the boxes just here. What I am going to ask you to do, though, is click onto the configure button just here towards the right-hand side. Now, again, I know some salons have done this already. So if you're watching thinking I've already done this, in the top left-hand corner, please do not take the tick out of the box where it says allow contacting from this terminal. Again, if you take the tick out of the box, yes, that will stop the automated confirmations. But unfortunately, when you put the tick back in the box, you will then need to input a username and password again. So again, please do not take the tick out of the box here. But what we do need to do is on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see these 3 options just here. It's a little bit tricky to see on my screen, but you, if not all of you, some of you, if not all of you, will probably have the 3rd option selected where it says automatically send confirmation requests, which of course means that your confirmation requests will be sent out automatically. So what we need to do is choose the 1st option. Okay, so just select the 1st option where it says send confirmation requests manually. Okay, and of course, when salons reopen, we can just reverse the procedure and just choose the 3rd option. But for now, to send them out manually, please choose the first option on the right-hand side where it says send confirmation requests manually. Then we click the done button and we click done again. Now we may again just have to give a quick restart to your shortcuts application. Now, if you do find yourself needing to send out confirmation requests, you can now do so manually. And to do so, in the bottom right-hand corner, we click the menu button. And then we click the first option where it says confirmation status. You'll have a list of clients here on the grey screen. You can toggle between dates here to the right-hand side using the arrows. And to send out the confirmation request manually, you can see the first of the third icon, or the three icons, I should say, the first of the three icons just here, where it says contact. So all we do is we click the contact icon and that will then send all of your confirmation requests out manually. Like I said, you're probably not going to need to do that. If you do want to send a once-off text message to a particular client, you will see the very first option just here is where it says SMS. And I will circle that now just with my cursor. We can see that just there. We click onto that, we can input a message, and we will also require the client's phone number as well to send them a message. Lastly, we can also, if we've got a particular staff member in their column, they've got a few appointments still booked in, we can right-click on their avatar at the top of the screen, and we can click SMS clients just here. And that is how we can send out text messages manually. So there we go. We've gone through Cloud Access, deactivating ongoing campaigns for the time being, sending out a blast email to ensure our clients are kept in the loop, temporarily pausing or switching off online bookings, and deactivating confirmation text for the time being. So again, thank you ever so much for watching. Again, my name was Chris. It's been a pleasure speaking to everyone. If you do, of course, have any questions, please feel free to drop those across to me now. Lovely. So thank you ever so much. Again, it's been a pleasure speaking to everyone. Hope everyone stays safe. All that's left for me to say is stay safe, and I shall speak to you all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.